Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As you probably know, the president of Turkey, Erdogan, has been visiting, I was about to say Israel, Ukraine and Lviv, and he met with President Zelensky and with the United Nations President, or whatever you want to call him, Secretary General Guterres. And they had a little conversation on Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, a peace process, and what kind of wines does Ukraine still make. All right, so during the conversation, President Erdogan suggested that the Russians and Ukrainians should come back to Turkey and continue the peace process that on the framework of whatever they agreed on their meeting in Istanbul on March. And Zelensky said that he is not going to discuss with anybody anything until the Russians are leaving the Ukrainian territory. Now there's a little problem that changes everything, and it's so little that it changes the whole thing, the whole framework, is that what if the Russians claim that they did not occupy Ukrainian territory, but they claim that actually they occupy what's theirs, Russian territory, which is Donetsk, Lugansk, Crimea. What if that happens? So you see, it's a matter of interpretation of what Ukraine is, was, and will be. It's kind of the same thing if I feel like if I feel like I identify as a whatever, then you have to accept that. You have to respect and accept my self-identification. So the same, if the Russians identify that Donetsk, Lugansk, and the Crimea is part of Russia, what is Ukraine going to do in the United States? They have to respect and accept the Russian identification with those parts. So, oh no, it doesn't work that way. Oh, my bad. I'm just giving some help here and there, a helping hand, and that helping hand is obviously based on the fact that you see certain things are so obviously ridiculous that if you try to apply that kind of reasoning or lack of in other instances, immediately people realize that's BS. So yes, Russia identifies with Luhansk, Lugansk, Donetsk, and Crimea. So Zelensky can start the negotiations immediately, since Russia is not occupying any Ukrainian territory, according to the Russians, right? And you have to respect that. But Erdogan is even stronger than that, and he really wants to facilitate a meeting between President of Russia, Putin, and President of Ukraine, Zelensky. So this article comes from Ukrainska Pravda from August 19th, 2022, which states that Erdogan offers Zelensky opportunity to organize meeting with Putin. I don't think Putin wants to meet Zelensky, but let's see what these guys are saying. Turkish President Erdogan said that during the negotiations in Lviv, he offered Turkey as a host location for a meeting between Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Quote from Erdogan: "Mr. Zelensky and I discussed all aspects of our bilateral relations. I reiterated our support for Ukraine's territorial integrity and sovereignty, just as I told Mr. Putin during my visit to Sochi. I reminded Mr. Zelensky that we can host a meeting between them." Details. The Turkish president said that he would like to discuss the situation at the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant with Putin and to ask him to take concrete actions. Erdogan also said that during the tripartite meeting with Zelensky and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, steps to facilitate the export of Ukrainian grain had been discussed. So it says here on the background, August 18, 2022, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Turkish President Erdogan, and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres met in Lviv. At this meeting, Zelensky said that Ukraine would only negotiate with Russia if all Russian troops withdrew from the territories of Ukraine. As I said, they are out of Ukraine. If you ask the Russians, they had illegally occupied. Erdogan emphasized the need to reach a diplomatic settlement between Ukraine and Russia. According to him, the way to achieve this would be to return to negotiations based on the points formulated at the March meeting in Istanbul. Mikhail Podolyak, Ukrainian presidential advisor, believes that negotiations with Putin's Russia are a dangerous game that will not lead to the end of war. Okay, so you are really on the American payroll. We got that. Okay, and Zelensky. Well, as I said in previous videos, the Ukrainian leadership, I'm talking about leadership, the political leadership, not the military, I don't know yet, but they still follow the whatever the Americans are telling them, are under their sponsors' spell. That's 100%. So Erdogan, yeah, comes over there, talks a talk, you know, and he knows that without the American approval, no, nothing happens. If it's like this and it's like this so far, nothing. Yes, go like this, and they will not do it. They will not do it. So Erdogan speaks with the wrong people, but he's just making it, I think, for personal reasons. I don't know if probably he likes what he's doing. Secondly, he likes it for his country, so he can use it in his political adventures. And why not? Maybe he's also interested in, you know, playing both sides, which he is. He just signed another batch of S-400s with Russia yesterday, I think. So that's good. With Russia, that with Americans, the F-16s. The Greeks got the S-35. Probably, so that's not good. You know what I mean? People who are familiar with Greece and Turkey's historical friendship, they know what I'm talking about. They have a problem now with some islands over there that obviously they claim it's mine, no, it's yours. Why do you put military over there if we're friends, and all kind of BS. Tensions will be, and we'll see what happens with those two. But in the meantime, Zelensky will not negotiate with Putin. That's the first thing, because the Americans will not let him. The second, before you meet, you have a Zelensky, let's say, two presidents meeting for a peace negotiations. They will not negotiate. They're not over there to negotiate. The negotiations occur behind the scenes or in front of everyone, you know, with the pictures and so on, but in the closed doors, actually, behind closed doors. And they discuss the peace treaties or peace whatever, and then after everybody agrees about it and sign documents and agree, then they can organize and facilitate a meeting between the presidents who are going to show up, shake hands, and take pictures. I don't think Putin will come and ever meet Zelensky. I have a 99% certainty that he will not meet Zelensky, because I don't think he gives him the credit of being a president. He met Zelensky in the presence of Merkel and Macron, the president of France and then Chancellor of Germany, and Ford, if you remember. They met over there and blah, blah, blah. But one-on-one, I don't think he will meet him. But who knows? I would give him 1% that he will. I don't think the war will catch President Zelensky in power, but we'll see. So it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. So it's a long way until these guys will agree to even meet, to agree not to meet. It's a long way. And as I said, you start with this kind of preconditions, and when I see them logical, well, you first have to back off, and then we're going to discuss further. But on the other hand, you know that that's a no from the start. It's a no go for it from the start, from the Russians' side. Yeah, so it's not going to happen anything. So it's no need for Americans to say no, because from the very beginning he said no until you leave. I mean, why did we get in? The Russians might say, you know. Now we're there in, you want us to leave? We got in because of you. But that's their interpretation. These guys got their interpretations, and they're like this, their interpretations. And so instead of meeting, they like, whoop. Okay, thank you very much for being with me again today. Good job, Erdogan. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.